Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Let's talk about the rating schedule changes that will inevitably happen. Now, they started off in the prior administration, the Biden administration. They've been kicked down the road into the Trump administration, and now they've been kicked a couple times further down the road. Now, let's be honest. The rating schedule changes were probably not the priority for the administration or for the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. There was a lot going on at the VA, and there was a committee that was established, a meeting that was supposed to take place, and we kind of were thinking that it was going to be implemented shortly after that. That meeting got canceled and kicked down the road. So all that to say is that it's not going away. It just hasn't happened yet. There's good and bad to that, I think. I think that it's given people some more time and opportunity to file for claims such as tinnitus, because tinnitus currently, here we are in November, the end of November 2025, tinnitus is a fully rateable condition, standalone condition in the schedule for ratings at the VA, and you can get a 10% rating for that standalone condition. Once the changes go into effect, well, not so much. It's not as easy as that anymore. They will eliminate tinnitus as a standalone condition, meaning that you cannot just be rated for tinnitus and take your 10% and move on. It will not exist. There will not be a diagnostic code for it. It won't be there for that. Instead, it'll be a sign or symptom of another condition. So it'll be assigned to other conditions, and you'll just be rated under that condition, whatever that may be, that you prove is service-connected. Now, the only kind of weird caveat to it is in the event you get rated, if you get rated for non-compensable, a 0% rating for hearing loss with tinnitus, then you can get a 10% rating. So that's the only real caveat to it. I wanted to dive into it, talk about a few of these things to prep for some of the good things that will be happening, some of the bad things that will be happening, what you could do today, and just give you kind of a little, a heads up on where we are today. So I pulled up some information, going to share this with you. So there is no final date currently for the proposed mental health rating schedule changes or the auditory, respiratory, neurological within the the Department of Veterans Affairs as of November 2025. The changes are not yet in effect. And oh, by the way, if you're already rated or if you get rated for something prior to the rating schedule changes, you will be protected. The VA cannot simply change your VA disability compensation rating simply due to a rating schedule change. This is why it's so important that if you're not rated for some of these things, you should go get rated for these. And if you need help with any of that, reach out to us, Evidence-Based VA Claims. Information will be in the description and in the comments. Free email consultation. We guarantee that we'll get you a new rated condition or an increase, whatever's going on for your situation. So, the changes are not yet in effect, okay? And the VA has not announced an official implementation date. Though one was, as I said, tentatively targeted for the spring of 2025, but once finalized, there should be, if evident, if history repeats itself, right? I mean, who knows? Things can always change, but there should be a 60-day waiting period before the changes take effect. So in other words, the VA will do a press release. They'll post something up on their website that says, hey, these changes are going into effect 60 days from now. Here's the new date. So we'll have a 60-day time frame there to know that it's happening. So what to know about the proposed changes? I pulled up a few bullets here, but then I'm going to jump into the actual VA announcement and share that with you as well. For everybody out there, every single rating schedule change or every single rating schedule has that have already been changed. There's been a total of, I think, 10. So 10 different rating schedules have been changed already. And now there's these last 4: mental health, neurological, auditory, respiratory. Those 4. The most recent rating schedule change was actually for the digestive system. And that one, just for, I guess, awareness purposes, that for digestive systems was proposed in January of 2022, and it finalized and was effective May 19th, 2024. Okay, so that is, and it had a huge impacts to how the VA rates GERD. That was probably the biggest thing in there. So let's jump into these bullets here real quick. So what to know, it's not implemented yet. The proposed changes to the mental health disability rating system and others are not in place yet. Potential timing, some sources expected the final rule to be published in the spring of 2025. And actually, it wasn't just speculation. It's what the government sites like the Federal Register and so forth had listed. They had listed in there, I believe it was April or something like that. And then another one had, I think, August of 2025. So it did not happen. And there really hasn't been any new dates scheduled or pushed out. New rating criteria, the proposed system for mental health specifically is shifting from an evaluation of social occupational impairments to a 5-domain scoring model, which we'll talk about a little bit as well. The 5 domains, for those that are trying to remember, are cognition, interpersonal interactions, task completion, environment, navigation, and self-care. Those are the 5. So impact on veterans, the changes will not affect veterans with existing ratings or those with active pending claims. They will only apply to future claims after the new system is implemented. So the with active pending claims is a little bit shaky. We've gotten, I think, different pieces of information in on that. I did read somewhere that, it has to be a decided claim prior to the change. And then here I'm reading that it's if it's an active pending claim. So the best case scenario for you is to rule in the light of, hey, let me try to get this thing in and get it decided, hopefully before the change goes into effect. That would be the ideal situation. Then I would say that the very worst case scenario is that it goes into effect and is fully implemented and in place. Now you're stuck with whatever the new thing is. Now there's that kind of gray period in between. Even if they give you the 60-day notice, I would still file a claim before the end of that 60-day notice and get that in the event that they honor the in-place criteria at that time, just to give yourself the best shot. Notification window, when the changes are implemented, veterans will have 60-day window to file a claim under the current system if it is more favorable for their condition. Uncertainty, the changes could still be delayed, revised, or canceled depending on the administrative decision. So still don't fully know, but the guesses are that it will absolutely take place like that. So let's jump into a little bit of the stuff here from the VA directly from their website on these changes here coming up. So they announced 3 of them, 3 rating schedule changes at one time, and then there's this kind of this 4th one, the neurological stuff, which isn't as life-changing, we'll say. So we'll just do the other 3 that they did, which is respiratory, auditory, as well as mental health. So let's see, jumping into it here, just for the purposes of that aspect. Since these are proposed changes, they will not affect evaluations of any veteran currently receiving compensation for an impacted disability. Instead, this is an opportunity for veterans and the public to go ahead and review and see what's happening and what's going to be coming out. There is also a period for public comment which closed obviously a long time ago. It's only open for 60 days, but you could view that stuff if you wanted to. All right, so some of the proposed changes include modernization and evaluation criteria for sleep apnea by evaluating it based on the symptoms' responsiveness to treatment. This is huge. It is a really, really big difference here in the way that they are viewing sleep apnea. If symptoms are fully treated by a CPAP machine or other treatment, a veteran would be rated at 0% and not receive compensation. VA will award progressively higher percentage valuation depending on how symptomatic the condition remains after treatment. That is a big deal. So that is a huge negative. Now, for a positive, for respiratory conditions such as asthma and COPD, the proposed rules would slightly, that's way different than significantly, would slightly lower the requirements for a 100% rating. So that's a good thing. Now, another bad thing. For tinnitus, the proposed changes would recognize that symptom within the veteran's broader ailment and provide service-connected compensation for tinnitus through the disease to which it is attributed. So I don't fully agree with how they're wording that because a lot of times you'll see things like Meniere's disease with or without tinnitus. And maybe the rating is exactly the same. It doesn't really matter. It's with or without tinnitus. That's the rating. So you're not getting a tinnitus rating through the disease to which it's attributed. Instead, you're getting a rating for that disease, and tinnitus happens to be a symptom. So, which means that the VA is totally eliminating tinnitus as a rateable condition, as a standalone rateable condition with its own diagnostic code. The only caveat to that is if you are service-connected, 0% service-connected for hearing loss. So if you're non-compensable hearing loss with tinnitus, they will give you a 10% according to the rule change. Now, the proposed rules for mental health conditions, I think personally are favorable if you understand how they work. Now, if you're flying in the dark, then I don't think so. So, like anything, preparing yourself for the claims process is essential. And it is no different with this. And in fact, there's even a little more work that you would probably have to do to make sure that you are making sure that you get the correct rating, right? So the proposed rules for mental health conditions would increase the minimum disability rating from a 0% to a 10%. So automatically we're seeing that there is no longer going to be a 0% option. It's 10% is the minimum. So that's a good thing. The rule would get rid of a dated part of the VA schedule for rating disabilities that would prevent the veteran from getting a 100% rating for mental health condition if they are able to work. So there is a part in the rating schedule currently that says something to the effect of total social and occupational impairment. Total impairment for social and occupational. And that's what you need in order to get to 100%. So they're getting rid of that, which just by that, you would think that that makes it easier, in my opinion, to get to 100%. VA will ensure veterans get the compensation they need and deserve, blah, 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 blah. Now they go into a little bit of how they're going to rate it. Rather than assigning an evaluation based on the number and type of symptoms present, these changes would evaluate mental health disorders based on how impactful the disability is across 5 domains of impairment. Again, cognition, interpersonal interactions and relationships, task completion, life activities and navigating environments, and self-care. Those are the 5. Now, this is, again, directly from the VA regarding essentially the protection that you have. So once again, this is from the VA. Once again, there will be no change to any veteran's current rating based on these proposed changes. When the proposed changes are finalized, veterans who currently receive compensation for a service-connected condition can apply for increased compensation. And even if a veteran's symptoms no longer warrant the current evaluation they have based on the finalized changes, so on the new rating schedule. So if you apply on the new rating schedule, but your signs and symptoms just aren't enough to get you to a higher rating, no reductions shall be made unless an improvement in the veteran's disability is shown to have occurred based on the original rating schedule. Okay, the one that was used to assign your evaluation. So it's important to note, where you are. Okay, here's my signs and symptoms. This is I went to the doctor 6 months ago. This is what this looks like. I still meet the same criteria that I did before. I know I'm good to go. Okay, I'm going to apply for this and see if I can get it. If I do, I do. Great, I got it. Or no, I don't. Let's say it's COPD. Let's say you go up. Awesome. And if you don't go up, but you still meet the criteria for the current, they just keep you where you're at. Of course, you are, we'll say, playing with fire, but with proper gear, you can, right? Firefighters do it all day long. So it's just about being prepared and understanding where you are and making informed, educated decisions. So with that, again, a lot of these schedules have already been changed over the last, 8-9 years. There's been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So your digestive system rating schedule, dental and oral conditions, skin, infectious diseases, immune disorders, musculoskeletal, and others have already been updated. We got 4 coming. That is the mental health, auditory, respiratory, and neurological. So with that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.